When you're training the muscles of the back, you're always trying to get the arms out of the movement because it's very common for people to over pull with their arms. So what I've always thought about was if you think about the angle of your arm not changing, not because when you flex your bicep, the elbow has to move. So if you're doing a pull down, for example, and you're closing that angle, you're going to work your biceps quite a bit, whether you intend to or not. And most likely, or you shouldn't be, you should be thinking about the elbows coming down and this angle staying relatively open. So for many, many years, that's all I really thought about was getting the pressure off of the hands, off of the forearms. Using straps was a common thing for doing that, and pulling the elbows down, and that worked very well. But lately, the way I've been thinking about it is not so much in just the keeping that angle open, but thinking about two planes of motion, whether I'm thinking about my elbows out and pulling more into the upper back, or I'm keeping my elbows in and pulling the elbows down to the sides. But that doesn't look so much as up and down as it looks like around. So using the pull down as an example, traditionally I would just think about pulling straight down here and keeping my elbows in. Not that this is wrong or anything, but now what I think about is when I do my pull down, I'll take a little bit wider grip because I want to keep that angle open. I'll set a little bit of a backward lean, and then I keep my elbows high if I'm working my upper back. If I want to work more into the lower, I'll keep my elbows more in, and I pull down in more of a circular motion. I'm not pulling it towards me because you can see how much my elbows are flexing here. What I'm trying to do is keep the elbow almost stationary as I go around. And that can apply to just about every lat exercise, back exercise that you're doing. I'm not so worried about stretching at the top on these ones. My elbows stay lightly flexed throughout the whole movement. And that can apply to these. I can bring that over. This one really mimics kind of like the old school Nautilus pull down that Dorian Yates always did, and I think still probably does, where I'm pulling my elbows down and back. I'm not thinking about extending into my triceps, and I'm not thinking about stretching here. I'm not too worried about that. Down and back with the elbows. And if I'm doing like a one-arm row, it's the same idea. I'm not thinking about up and down, which I used to always think about that. Now I think forward and back. And my arm doesn't have a lot of flexion here. You can apply that to almost every back exercise. Here's one more that I'll show before we're done. I can go here, keep my elbows flared, and pull. I'd like this pulley to be a little bit higher for my own liking, but it works fine for a demonstration. So this is going to be more into my upper back. And if I went here with an underhand grip narrow, change the angle, reach, and pull low. And you notice that my biceps are staying out of it. You have to kind of try it for yourself and really get used to the motion of your arms moving like this when you're getting the lower lats, and when you're in the upper portion, you're more here. So just give it a try.